Starting live video. Here we go. We're connecting. We're connected. Hey everybody, welcome to Man Mondays. It's Michael Duff here. It is Monday night, and welcome to New York City. You can see the city a little bit behind me there. So yeah, welcome for those of you who are new to this. Ken Walls, number one. Nicely done, number one. My producer's logging on there as well. There's Denise Duff. Mike Lameau. Hey guys, thanks for joining me on Monday night here on Man Mondays. My weekly talk show, sort of a talk show. Greg, hey man. Rob Ehlers, right on dudes. So we continue the theme every Monday night. I talk about relationships in sports and how they coincide and coexist, as it were. We told a girl who's working for us today that in just a few weeks we will be married 29 years, and she damn near fainted. It's actually longer than she's been alive. And she was like, "Wow, killing it in the marriage game." I was like, "Oh, that's so cool." That should be the hashtag, killing it in the marriage game. Hi, Marilyn. So I am here to hopefully impart some, hey Doc, some useful information, hey cuz, to all you guys. I mean, this is mostly for the guys, but of course we love when the women are on because you guys are obviously the reason that we're doing this. So tonight's show is all about the little things. Hey, Vinny. It's the little things that matter. And I think I've talked about this before. Happy Man Monday to you, Kelly. Very nice. It could be a national holiday every week, I think, sort of like Monday Night Football. And I will be, by the way, when the football season starts, I will be doing this during halftime because football, of course. So the little things are, oh, look, I've got a thing going over my head. Oh, that's cool. We're in a flight path, obviously. So I'll have things going out of my head all night because JFK isn't far from here. And that's that. So little things, Nelson, right on, dude. So this is a little thing. I've actually mentioned this before, but it bears repeating. See this little thing? Guys, if you don't know what this is, I'm bringing it really close. It looks really huge. It's engulfing my whole head. This is a little head scratcher, and this will make your life so easy. Tyler Duff, right on, dude. My producer is giggling in the background because she knows how awesome this thing is. Like literally, it's like a $2. Yeah, Arash, you've got two of them. Hi, Nikki. So, guys, just get one of these things. I don't really even need to go explain it too much, but this is a little thing. But it's a little thing that means a lot. So if your girl is having a bad day or whatever, maybe it's, her monthly friend is coming around. Hey, cuz. And it's just, grab this thing and do this to her head. Literally, this is it. It will wash away. Oh, geez. Excuse me for a minute. This is feeling wicked good. So it will wash away. So, yeah, for kids, it's great too. I mean, I don't actually bring up kids that much because mine's in LA. But for anybody, I mean, I don't think it's probably appropriate in an office to walk around and do it to your coworkers, but they'd love it, I'm sure. But guys, make sure you get one, buy two or three, just keep them around the house. If your girl is feeling a little whatever, just do a little vibe, a couple of minutes. And who cares what your day is? Because the cliche, happy wife, happy life, is a cliche only because it's true. So this is just one of the little things. And I say the little things matter. Sweat the details. My producer / wife can attest to the fact that my least favorite phrase is, "Oh, it's close enough." Because that's not the way that I look at things. Like, everything should be right. Right now, my cat is playing with a head scratcher. Squid is playing with a head scratcher. Rita left us last week. And wow, it was just last week, wasn't it? So Rita has gone on, but Sid is too busy playing with that thing. I got distracted by my cats. So the little things, it's all about the details. Oh, that's right. I was talking about how it's close enough is my least favorite phrase. Hey, Tristan. Hey, Gary. Sid, yeah, squid is what I call him because it's funnier. So, back rubs. Dudes, if you don't know how to do a back rub, go online. Just Google it, YouTube it. How to do a freaking back rub. It's the simplest thing. Take 5 minutes out of your day and just, make her life a little easier. It will make all the difference. But those are little things that are okay. That's a thing. Okay, I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to do that thing. But thinking with doing the little things like all the time is really where you're going to be in the best position to have a great relationship. And as usual, I relate these things to sports. Now, if you are a wide receiver, and I'm going to bring up a wide receiver in a little bit. You guys saw my note about Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant, I will tell you why he's not on the team right now. One of the greatest wide receivers ever, and I know exactly why he's not on a team. And it relates to your relationship, so this is kind of awesome. Say you're a wide receiver, and you know that you have to run a route a certain way. Nick, Tony, dudes. Thanks for joining. So the play is for you to run a route a certain way, and you need to end up at a certain spot. But you're sort of running that route. You end up in the same spot, but you're not quite running the route the same way that your coaches tell you to do and that your quarterback expects you to do. Now, you may say, well, what's the difference? Because I end up in the same spot. He can still hit me in the same place. But because the little things matter, it's all about the details. If he's going back, he's got, 7 300-pound guys jumping on him. If he doesn't look out and see things exactly the way that he expects them to be, then it makes him uncertain. And now he's starting to probably freak out a little bit, oh no, okay, so something's wrong over here. My guy isn't running the right route or whatever, he messed up. And then he's distracted there. Maybe that was the route he wanted to hit. And, it changes the game. So the little things really do matter. And the idea of, what's the difference? It's going to end up the same anyway. It just doesn't. There are so many variables, and especially with the lives that we lead now, they're so fast. Oh, honey, I forgot to call you. I was coming home late, and sorry, I missed dinner. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, it's a detail, but it's something, it's important. Hang on a second, Marie. Mike Cohen is having reception problems. Okay, good. Come back in, dude. It's when you're in a rhythm, and hopefully you are in a rhythm with your girl, like a rhythm, like an engine, right? It goes a certain way, and then if suddenly one of the cylinders doesn't fire the same way, it sort of throws the engine off, the timing off, and what the hell happens to your car? You break down on the side of the road. Or you break down at a club with one of you screaming. Or throwing frying pans. I don't know. do people still do that? So that's my pitch for the little things, but it's a mindset of just really taking a look at what you're doing, knowing what you're doing while you're doing it, and then really seeing what the outcome is going to be. You know, it's a game of awareness, this relationship stuff, just as sports is. All the sports, you really can't phone it in and be successful in anything, in your business. I mean, if you have a job that you hate and you're just whatever, you're punching a clock and you're sitting there and you're stamping metal, you know, if you're not really there, if you're not paying attention, it's gonna devil's in the details, man. It's gonna go to hell, and you're gonna get fired. You're not gonna have the job anymore. Blah 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 blah. By the way, for those of you who don't know, I'm writing a book. I think most of you guys are on here who know, but if you don't, if you could go to happily-unsingle.com, there's a survey on there I'd really love your help with. And I'm going to actually be doing a masterclass in the next few weeks. I'm going to start this thing. So I have a one-question survey. I'd love your answer in that, and it would help me out a lot. And yeah, so happily-unsingle.com. And my producer has a note. This is the upside. Oh, she's fucking adorable. She gives me notes of things that I do. Literally, because we work next to each other, but only for like another week, because I have office space. Yeah. I will say that we have worked, like I've worked from my home for, I don't know, decades. And when we lived in LA, we had the house, and I was on one corner of the house, and she was on the opposite corner of the house. So we still worked at the same place, but it was, you know, we had some distance, and we could hear each other, but it was still, you know, secluded enough that we could really get stuff done. Right now, we sit next to each other. I'm going to swing this around. Can you see our desks over here? Like, that's my desk, and that's her desk. And she is really distracting. She's too damn fun for me to get work done. So I'm finally getting office space of my own. Anyway, when I get up to get a water or something like that, I'll just you know, rub my hand on her back, because I know she likes it. I did it one time and she went, "Rrr." So I was like, okay, that's something that I know she likes, and that's something I'm going to do. Hi, Sally. No, I'm not the one who cut the deal with Stormy. All right, Mike. Random politic thing there. I don't know. Anyway, we're talking about sports and relationships, not TMZ. So yeah, just stuff like I do the food shopping most of the time. I'll get her food that she likes. Billy Burke, hey cuz, amazing drummer. I keep saying that every time he pops in. Yeah, stuff. I've made traditions out of things. When she flies in, I started this in LA when I had a car. It was a lot easier. I would go pick her up at the airport, like you do. I would do it with a basket of snacks, though, because my wife loves snacks. So I would make sure there was a basket of snacks there. It just became this tradition. I did it once because I thought it'd be fun, and then she loved it. If she hated it, I wouldn't have done it anymore. But she loved it, so it became a tradition. And now we passed it on to our daughter. And when we fly into LA, she'll pick us up and she'll have a freaking basket of snacks. Anyway, great tip, dudes. Work that one out. That's genius. That will score you points. Another thing, she's so funny. I do this, by the way, here in New York. I'll actually take the train in to JFK and wait for her plane to come in, and then we usually take an Uber back or a Via or something like that. Yeah, Mike, Denise is distracting. I know. So all this really boils down to caring enough, and this is the bedrock of a team. Now, lately, the UEFA Cup is going on, and the FA Cup. We're heading to the finals of both of these, and I happen to be a big soccer fan, as many of you know. And watching the teams and watching them go and watching them play, you can see really the ones that sync well together. Just the when the wingers or the midfielder is making a run down the side, and you have guys coming with him. But every once in a while, you see one of these guys make a run and nobody's going with him. It's like, how can you not think that that's important to do? You know, what's he going to do on his own? So it's part of a team to think together and to think like a team. And what's going to be best for the team, right? And the little things are best for the team. I'm going to give a shout out to my buddy Nick Ferguson, who I actually I interviewed for my book, and you can follow him on Instagram, by the way, at nickferguson_25. Nick Ferguson, former NFL player, has a show called Secondary Perspective. He does analyst stuff for NFL Network and some other sports shows, but he did a post today about Jay-Z and Excuse Me Miss, the song. And he wrote this really cool post about guys who are like kind of too proud and like they don't want to change. And it's like, of course he said, it's just because you haven't met Miss Right yet. Miss Right? I suppose it's Miss Right. Why don't guys have an unmarried thing like Right? No, that's Mr., isn't it? Producer, give me some data on that, would you?
It is Mr. Right.
I know, but it's Mr. Right after you're married too. It's Miss Right when you're not married, and Mrs. Right when you're married.
I don't understand what you're asking me.
Why? Excuse me. Why don't guys have two signatures? We just have Mr. no matter what. You have Miss.
Oh,
you have Ms., Miss, and Mrs.
Right.
You see, we're too simple. Guys, this is a perfect example. We are...
Because our freedom is taken away when we're married, but yours isn't.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not on camera for saying.
I know. That wasn't Denise. That wasn't at Denise Duff with a C. Denise with a C.
I'll Google it.
She's going to Google it. See, this is what I have a producer for. So, I was talking about Nick Ferguson and this great post he wrote, how some guys just don't feel like they're not going to change. They're going to keep their whatever, no matter what. And it's like, well, you know, the compromise thing we hear a lot about. And I've never looked at a relationship like compromise. I look at it as like you're on a team. So what does the team need to do to win? If you need to, I don't know, stop going out with your buds till 2 a.m. every night, then that would be a good thing for the team to do. If you're, no, I'm not going to do that, then you're not really playing as a teammate, right? The idea of being too proud, I'm sort of an all-in guy, I guess. And like when I decide to commit to a team or a thing, I like committing to it. Actually, maybe I commit to too many things now, but I'll commit. It's like I'm in, and I'm going to give it my all to that thing. And we need to, guys, we need to really have that mindset in our relationship because everything else will feed from that. The little things will be easier to do. Toby Scarborough. That, my friends, is the drummer of Chalk Farm. Fantastic drummer right there. Buddy. Oh, I'm pointing to the dots again and they don't show up on the timeline. Anyway, good to have you, dude. And Chris, thanks for joining. So let's talk about Dez Bryant. So I will tell you the reason that Dez Bryant is not on a team right now is everything that I've talked about. It's actually not the little things, because he is a total pro as far as his skill set. His Edwin, thanks for joining. He is one of the best wide receivers to ever play the game. He knows his craft. He has it nailed. However, what he doesn't have nailed is there's no me in team. Although really there is if you flip the letters around. Maybe there's no I in team. Yeah, that's the one. So he's apparently, in interviews, because I'll watch NFL Network during my lunch. It just seems the people that have been on his team, it's like he's super intense, which you have to love. You love a competitor. You love a guy who's totally into what he does. But as soon as things start to go a little bad, he gets like, I want the ball. And it's like, that's not the helpful mode when things aren't going well, to get aggravated, which is, by the way, another point for your relationship. So when things aren't going well, this is the hardest thing to do. Trust me, I still struggle with this. But looking at it, if you can, like taking a step back, how can things get done when you're blah, 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 right? An angry guy just wants to stop stuff. So if there's a problem, like say the Cowboys are down by 2 touchdowns, like the Cowboys are down by 2 touchdowns and it's the fourth quarter and Michael Duff is burping, it's a problem. So, right, Sid. But what's not going to help is your wide receiver distracting you by saying, give me the ball, give me the ball. It's like, wait, we're trying to figure out what the game play is going to be here to really work this out so that we can win, to put ourselves in the best position. And he's just like this, So it's being excellent at what he does, except for, Mike, compromise is a different word. I'll get to that in a second. Except for you have to view everything from the team, right? So if you look at it team first, then at that point, Mike, it's not compromise. It's actually creation. It might not be what you personally want to do all the time. Like if you want to go bowling every night, but your girl is like, I don't want to go bowling, like ever. And you're like, too bad, I'm going bowling. That's what I do. That's my life. Well, if that's actually true, you probably got the wrong girl. But if it's not true, then you're just kind of being a dick. So you need to look at it from the team. Like what's good for the team? And the team is, creating things together, working on things that you both like, and not all the time. Trust me, Denise and I don't, we don't spend, every minute together, although we do work together, so we spend a lot of time together. But she has her things that she needs to do. I have my things that I need to do, and we do them. And it's good because we're fulfilling ourselves and what we need to do, our own personal goals, but we also have our team goals. So personal goal, team goal. Dez Bryant has his personal goal of being the best receiver he can be, right? And winning as many Pro Bowls as he can, winning in as many games and Super Bowls as he can. Well, sometimes the team goal of the team winning, he kind of forgets that. He's like, no, it's going to be, I need to catch more balls. And yet, if he just took a step back and said, now, wait a minute. Okay, so what do I need to do? How can I help the team overall? Yes, by being a great receiver, but also maybe being an amazing decoy because he's the best receiver on the planet. People are going to expect him to get the ball. So if he does his job, it will leave the number 2 receiver open or a great hole for Ezekiel Elliott if he's actually playing. So, Aris, I'm using your Cowboys because they're awesome. And you guys let Dez go, which is understandable, really. He was really expensive, and it's a tragedy. I hate seeing that because he's an amazing player, and yet he's just not an amazing team guy, and you really need a team guy. Instantly, I thought, man, it'd be great if the Patriots got him, but then I was like, yeah, he wouldn't last. He just wouldn't last there. That's not the Patriot way. You play as a team first. And that's why, by the way, when you have a team like the Patriots. By the way, Brady was drafted 199th, right? Wes Welker, you never heard of him until he was on the Patriots. He was on the Dolphins for 2 years. Danny Amendola, playoff Amendola, was on 3 teams before he was on the Patriots, or maybe 2. And you never really heard of him, but he was on a team that played like a team and was built to play like a team. And that was the standard that they had, to play like a team. So suddenly these guys are like immortal. Honestly, Denise and I, we play like a team. We play for blood like a team.
You're so cute. It's true. Because, individually, we're not the greatest players, but put us together as a team.
Yeah.
And we're unstoppable. That was a little Grant Cardone coming out. That was a bad kiss.
Yeah, that was a horrible kiss. Now get out of my life. So, Mike, if you were a great bench warmer, as long as you were supporting the team, you were one of the most important parts of the team. Honestly, I played in a soccer league before I moved to LA, and we won the championship. And I have a very high expectation of my playing and my playing time, and I sat on the bench kind of a lot. I would go in as a sub, as a striker. Sometimes I would play the full game. Sometimes I would play the full game as a goalkeeper. But as, it's like, oh, you're eating your ego. And yeah, sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to when your girl wants to do something and you don't really want to do it, but you're like, you know what? This is the quote unquote taking one for the team. Yeah. And it's okay because it comes around. If you're just, no, I'm not going to do that. No one's going to change me.
All the foreign films
All the foreign films
that you watch.
Oh yeah. Denise would have me watch all sorts of films that I didn't really want to watch. I didn't really care, but I would go in, I would watch, and she'd be asleep like a half an hour in, and I'm like, I can't not watch it now. If I start a film, I'm gonna watch the whole thing. So, anyway, so that is my opinion of why Dez Bryant still doesn't have a team after it's been 8-9 days since he was let go from the Cowboys. One of the best receivers ever to play the game, and he still does not have a team that wants him. Yes, it's unbelievable. And the draft is coming up, so teams are sort of waiting. Maybe I'll be able to pick one up in the draft for nothing, rather than get this expensive, high maintenance guy that I, don't know if it's going to work. You don't know if that kind of guy is going to work. Don't be Dez Bryant in your relationship. Be Danny Amendola. Be the guy who will take a pay cut, to win Super Bowls. And trust me, just like Danny Amendola, you will get your reward. And of course, he got, he went to a different team, but that's not what I'm talking about. But he got a Super Bowls, and people sure as hell know him. And because of everything he did, he was able to get the contract he's getting now. And I'm super happy for him, by the way. Mike, did she direct the one she made you watch? No, I watched those happily, by the way, because I'm a team player, and why wouldn't I want to? I've seen everything she did actually way before she. But Mike, you may be talking about Vampire Resurrection. I scored that, so I saw it a lot. I saw it a lot before it came out. Hi, Megan. Hi, Noelle. I'm going to say hi to some people. So, Gary Watman, dude. Mike Manugian, another Bostonian. Hi, Iris. So, Iris and Aris right next to each other. What are the odds? Squid. Come here. Say hi to everybody. Squid. Look, he just looks like unhappy all the time. Hey, Sid. Whatever. If any of you guys have questions or want, yes, now Sid, you pop in. There's all sorts of hearts. I see where I stand in the pecking order. Denise comes in, there's hearts. Sid comes in, there's hearts. Me, whatever. I'll give my pitch again. For those of you who don't know, I have a book I'm writing called Happily Unsingle. And if you could go to happyunsingle.com, I have a 1-question survey I would really like your help with. Just answer 1 question for me, and you will actually get free access to the master class that I'm doing. It is for guys, but of course, ladies, you can totally do. Eris, same, buddy. Yeah, that's it. I've taken up a nice chunk of your Monday. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know if you have questions or if there's something that you want to talk about. I did say that this is, if I didn't say, I'm going to go into it right now. I almost signed off, but this is part 3 of keeping the flame lit. And I will say, dudes, the details thing it really is all about the little things. Like that stupid light I put in Denise's closet. You know, I can't tell you how much mileage I'm getting out of this thing. We had a friend come over, and he's staying here, and he opened her. I don't know. He walked by or something like that, and he was like, "Hey, what's up with these lights?" And she just went on about how, you know. I was like, "Thank you very much," you know. But it was just a little thing, but it means a lot, especially to girls. Guys, girls like the little things because it means a lot, because they think of things that we don't. They'll attach importance to things that we won't. Jim Colleen, dude. So the little things matter. So make sure you're paying attention to the little things. Make sure you're doing that route like the quarterback wants you to, exactly that way, because that's what they want. That's what they expect. As soon as you find out that, you know, your teammate likes something a certain way, do that thing. That's part of your job as a teammate, is to assist your teammate, and the better you make them. Oh, by the way, all these little things put them in a better mood. And ultimately, that's better for you. That's a secret. Okay, it's not a secret. I was thinking about this yesterday, and how different people look when they smile. Mm-hmm. And how I realized it's so important to me to make my wife smile and laugh. So, dude, I know she didn't know that. This is like news. This is a news flash. So, because 1, it makes her feel good. 2, it makes her look better, which is good for everything's good for me. This is win-win, right? Why the hell wouldn't I want to do that? She's giggling right now. She's got a great laugh. So if you haven't figured out how to make your woman smile and laugh, dudes, figure it the fuck out. Hi, Dottie. As I'm swearing, sorry. This is everything I'm talking about here. Actually, really almost everything I talk about in any of these videos is how to keep the flame lit. But these things especially, like these little things. You don't have to get flowers all the time. You don't have to buy, expensive jewelry. I mean, it's awesome if you can do it, if you can swing it. Dudes, do it, right? But, huge vacations are fun, but that's not, it's the number of little things. It's the number of little things that make it good, and it's the number of little things that make it bad. Amen. So, I got an amen from my producer. So, it's the double-edged sword. So think about the things that she likes, figure out things that she likes that's going to make her smile and laugh.
It's math.
Think of the things that, it's math. Think of the things that, foods and favorite drinks. Oh, I had a question at one point. That reminds me, Aris. That's perfect. Aris makes Holly food and favorite drinks. That's perfect. That's genius. I think I'd mentioned this before. Yeah, I did last time of when Facebook was new. Denise and I work on the opposite ends of the house when we lived in LA. And she had posted on Facebook that, wow, I really want I think it was a lemonade and a oh, I don't remember what the hell the other thing was, but, and I saw the post. It's because Facebook did things linearly then. And so I just walked out the door without telling her and went down to 7-Eleven and bought those things and just walked in and plunked them on her desk and walked back to my desk. And again, the mileage I got out of that, she told people for weeks how cool that was.
Now I'll have to start again.
Now she'll have to start again because she forgot. But those kinds of things are the little grains of sand that build up, you know, a big pile, and it's cool. It's something you can like sit on and stuff. Here's another thing. Somebody had asked me, what do you get? This was my someone who works for me asked me. One of their relatives' birthdays was coming up, and she was like, "What do I get this person? They have everything. Like, they get everything. If they want something, they just go get it." I hate to say it, but my parents were the same. They didn't do Christmas for each other, really. They just, if they wanted something, they just figured out a way to get it, which made it tough for us kids. It wasn't like something they're like, oh, you know, kids, we'd like a blah. They would just get it. So at that point, you're like, wow, what the hell do you do, you know? And I just told her, because this I got from my wife, by the way, my teammate, do something personal. Like, make something unique. You could literally have something made, I don't know, a book of photos or something, or, but the more personal it is and the more unique it is, the more it's going to mean to that person. And guys, there is an unlimited supply of opportunity here. So, especially if you have kids, or pets, holy cow. Something to do with her kids or your pets, holy cow. My producer always brings up me organizing her drawers. We've talked about that. She loved it. It was great. Okay, I've rambled on. I totally love you guys coming by. Share this if you want. I want to help as many people as possible. Again, happily-unsingle.com. Hope you guys join me again next week, 9:30 Eastern for Man Mondays. And anything else I wanted to tell you guys? Other than you're awesome, check out my friend Nick Ferguson at nickferguson_25 on Instagram. And I'm going to put a link to this little thing in the description after I sign off. So if you guys want one, they're like $2 on Amazon. So I'm going to go get this. I'm going to just do this for a little while. All right, guys. Thanks. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.